Hey everyone, JP here from OrganicPriceBooks.com, and with a new TV show that just came out about Y the Last Man, I thought this would be the perfect time to do a review for Y the Last Man. I basically just finished this entire book 2 weeks ago, and I was like, alright, time to make a review. So let's get started. So Y the Last Man, it came out on, I think Hulu, or FX, I forgot what channel it is, but it came out and I was like, you know what? I have this in my library, why not read this, that way I know what it's all about. So, before we get started, let me show you the omnibus. There are 4 different formats. There is the omnibus format, which we have here. There's the absolutes, which is a little bit taller, more, you can see more of the artwork. There's the deluxe version, I think it's the same size, or maybe a little bit smaller. And then we have 2 compendiums that's coming out this year as well. Alright, so we have the front, we have the spine right here, and then we have the back. All right, and then we also have, when we take off the dust jacket, some book art on the actual book. We have York and Ampersand, the main character. We have the spine, and then we have Agent 355, which you'll learn in the book. All right, so this is what it looks like, and let me get it open and show you guys. Give you guys a basically overview while we talk about the story. Alright, so this book is written by Brian K. Vaughan, and you have all the other associates as well, the pencilers, the inkers, the colorists, the letterers. This book is about a 1,400 page count, and you also have the page count down here as well. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys a basic overview of the story, a little bit of minor spoilers, and then I'll also give you guys the a spoiler review as well on my actual thoughts of the ending and like how everything played out and whatnot, my opinions of it and all that good stuff. So let's go over the overview real quick. This book is basically about a mysterious disease just happened out of nowhere instantly. It didn't happen throughout like weeks or months. Just all of a sudden one day, all the male in the world started dying. All the male animals, all the male humans, everything. They all started dying except for 2 males, which is York and his helper monkey, Ampersand. And so in this scene right here, we find out that York is trying to be an escape artist magician. So that will be his skill set throughout the entire story. And then he's on the phone right now talking to his girlfriend, Beth, basically proposing to her, trying to get married. And then as soon as she tries to give him an answer, the phone goes dead, which basically how it started. So that was a pretty good start. And then we also have his mom is a politician, and then we also have his sister, which you'll learn more about in the story as well. We have factions in here. There's going to be a lot of female factions. We also have the Israeli army faction, where they basically want to prevent any males from being in the other side. That way they have full control themselves, because they were, they had oppression and all that good stuff. So they don't want to have any more males in the world. We have the Amazonians, which are basically savages. They had the kind of the similar viewpoints, where they don't want any males in the world to come back as well, so they go around destroying sperm banks and anything male related. And then you can know what an Amazonian is, because to be part of their culture, to be a true Amazonian, you have to cut off or burn off one of your breasts. So they will walk around with basically one boob, which is pretty interesting. You also have, there's going to be a lot of other factions. You have York's bodyguard as well, Agent 355, which you'll learn more about in the story. You'll see York going around in a mask and whatnot, trying to hide the fact that he's a male. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things going on. Since he found his mom early on in the story, she's sending him on a journey to find a scientist, but York is like, no, I want to find my girlfriend Beth and make sure that she's alive and let her know that I'm alive so we can get married. But there was a lot of other pressing matters where he has to go to Washington or California to find the scientists. That way, the scientists could basically figure out what's going on, how it started, and see if they could find a cure. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth arguments and whatnot. Yorick trying to do his own thing, but he has to do stuff that's right for the world, to save the world and all that good stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of journeying, a lot of traveling. Basically, Yorick's girlfriend's in Australia, and he's in the United States. So there's going to be a lot of, walking around, seeing different stuff and all that good stuff along the way in this story. The story is 60 issues, so there is a lot to read as well. So that's going to be fun. And then, what else is there? There's a lot of other things as well that I don't want to talk about too much and spoil it. So I'll leave that overview there. So basically, to sum it all up, there's two males trying to go around the world and figure out a cure, as well as finding his fiance as well, to make sure that she's alive and let him know that he's alive as well. So that's basically a small overview. Of course, there's going to be a lot of different things as well. And now I'll give you guys a spoiler warning, because I'm going to give you like the full review and my thoughts and everything that happened throughout the story. So if you guys want to listen along, feel free to. If not, you can pause this video and skip to the very, 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 very end. All right. So my thoughts about this story. I thought it was really fun. It was very straightforward. There was no mystery at all. Well, there was a little bit of mystery, but not like stuff that make you think and ponder and leaving stuff open-ended to think for yourself. I really like how each character has their own background or backstory. So you really sympathize with every single character. Agent 355, the scientist, Yorick, even the monkey has a backstory. The scientist's parents have a backstory. Every single person that you meet has a pretty good, interesting backstory. So there's, I really like the character development in this book. I also like, there's going to be like I thought it was really funny. There was this Russian girl that walks around. She's trying to talk to everybody, but everybody thinks she's crazy because nobody can understand her. But Agent 55 speaks Russian, so they find out that there's also three more people in space, 2 male and 1 female. And of course, when they landed, the 2 males died, but the 1 female survived, but she's pregnant. So that's a good mystery to as you're reading along, to figure out if she's gonna have a male or a female baby. And then I also really like the Russian girl as well, because she has broken English. So when you read everything she says, it's really funny, the way she says sentences and whatnot. It's like kind of like how Yoda talks. It's not straightforward. If you guys ever watched Star Wars, stuff like that. So it was really fun to read her. She's like a really cute, fun character to read as well. And then I really liked how there was a lot of mystery with Agent 355. She doesn't want to share her name. She doesn't want to share anything about her past at all. There's going to be a lot of different characters that females that pretend to be males and all that. A lot of movie producers and all that trying to share the story. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool people that you meet throughout the story. I think one of my favorite ones is like the Second Beth. I think that's her name. Yeah, Second Beth. Right here, you'll see her scar. Her name is basically Beth, and then Yorick and her had a one-night stand. She ended up having a baby. But I think it's really fun to read Second Beth and whatnot. I enjoyed reading about his sister, how she went crazy. Her name is Hero. She became an Amazonian, and then at one point she was just trying to kill Yorick, but then later on, after rehabilitation, she goes on a redemption arc, which is really nice, because you end up hating the character, but then you start liking them again and wanting them to redeem themselves. And then so there was that. I really like the villain in here as well. Like one of the villains is a little samurai girl. I don't really feel like I want her to lose because I like her backstory as well. You know, she came from nothing. She was a thief, but her dad made her better. There was also like other things going on as well, like other side things, like side plots such as like finding a little coin, and apparently the coin was the reason why all the men died. There's a lot of like theories why the men died, but nobody knows for sure. Nobody ever knew in the story, but there was a lot of different like theories. And then going towards the end, if you guys, you know, this is a major spoiler warning, so so be warned. But going towards the end, I really liked the relationship that built up with York and Agent 355. I enjoyed how he finally found Beth, his fiance, and then he realized that he was not in love with her anymore. That he actually enjoyed hanging out and spending time with Agent 355, which was really cool. And then and what I really didn't like, I really liked the ending, but I really didn't like it at the same time because it's not a happy ending. So he basically after he realized that he wasn't in love with Agent 355, wasn't in love with Beth, he ran over to find Agent 355 where she was staying at and basically confessed everything to her. And then she basically told him her name for the very first time and whatnot. And then us as the audience, we don't know her name because she whispered to York and was never like said. But now as soon as she finally revealed her name, which was one of the plots in the story this whole time. Like he was trying to get to know more of her, but she was always so closed. And then she finally revealed her name, and then she got sniped. Like she was just standing right there, and then sniped, and then now she's just bleeding and she's dead. I'm like, oh my gosh, can't believe that happened. You know, that was like one of the highlight moments in the story. I'm like, oh my gosh, this just happened. And then I was like, I didn't want to read it. I wanted to put it down, but then I wanted to finish the book because I was like, I'm already here at the very end. So that was like a punch in the gut basically right there, because I was like, finally, you know, they're finally gonna confess their love for each other. And then she died. I'm like, wow, what an ending for that part. But you know, so they at the very end, the scientists basically figure out how to clone everybody. So York, you know, a clone York is here now, and then we also have a clone Agent 55. She didn't really die. She'll live on in a clone, which is really cool. Even though she lived on, I was still kind of devastated that she actually died. But yeah, there was that. And then at the very end of the book, you have the her gravestone. I think Ampersand is dying as well, so he might be burying him along with her. But basically, Agent 355 died, and then I am assuming underneath 355 is Peace, which is her actual name. And that's probably why she didn't want to share her name, because she said it was lame and whatnot, because she is basically the opposite of Peace. She was a trained assassin, a trained killer. So that I thought that at the very end was a really good way of like revealing her name and all that good stuff. So I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was great. It's one of my favorite DC books now. Even though I haven't read that many DC books, it's one of my favorites. It's up there in my top 10 of this year's read, and I would highly recommend you guys to check this out, especially with the TV show. So if you guys basically want to, if you guys are on the fence of reading this book, check out the TV show. So if you guys like the show, and if you do, pick up the book. We have, you know, the omnibus, we have the absolutes. I'll be putting up the deluxes, and we have the companions coming out too. So there's plenty of different formats to check out this story. If I were to read it again, I'd probably read it in the absolute format just so I can see the art better. But over that, I thought the story was great. I would highly recommend you guys to check it out. And if you guys did read this book or watch the TV show, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys, if you think the TV show is better or you like the book better. Yeah, and then please leave a notification. Leave a comment down below. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, and also stay tuned for our October 1st announcement. We have a really big announcement giveaway challenge that's going to happen, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.